New Year's, the one time people go absolutely bananas because Earth almost completes its lap around the sun. It's also the time when people awkwardly count down with strangers, throw parties they'll regret cleaning up, and make New Year's resolution they'll probably abandon faster than a gym in March. But what if there's no New Year's? No countdowns, no resolutions, no awkwardly yelling Happy New Year at your boss who somehow ended up at the same party. December 31st just be another Tuesday and January 1st would just be another Wednesday. What would life look like? Would it be any different? Before diving into how New Year's came to be, here's a fun fact. New Year's is not an astronomical event. Unlike solstices or equinox, which are dictated by Earth's position relative to the Sun, New Year's is entirely a human-made concept. It's basically humanity's excuse to hit the cosmic reset button every 365 days because, let's face it, we all need a little hope after bombing our exams. The idea of celebrating the New Year's dates back to ancient Mesopotamia around 2000 BCE. The Babylonians marked the spring equinox as the start of their new year and celebrated with the Akito festival. This made sense to them because spring is when crops start to grow again. Later, the Romans decided to make things official. Julius Caesar introduced the Julian calendar in 46 BCE, fixing January 1 as the beginning of the year. But why January? Well, it was named after Janus, the Roman god of beginnings, transitions, and doorways. But not everyone agreed with January 1. Many cultures celebrated New Year's according to lunar cycles, harvest, or religious events. It wasn't until 1582 with Pope Gregory XIII's Gregorian calendar reform that January 1 became the internationally recognized start of the year. Even then, some countries took forever to adopt it. Imagine yelling Happy New Year's in July and everyone else is like, dude, it's barbecue season. Today, not everyone celebrates the New Year's the same. Around the world, people celebrate with their unique traditions. In Spain, people eat 12 grapes at midnight, one for each stroke of the clock. Just be careful, because this turned out to be tragic somewhere. In Denmark, they smash plates on their friends' doorsteps. If your doorstep is spotless the next day, maybe it's time to work on your social skills. In Japan, people ring temple bells 108 times to cleanse sins from the past year. What would happen if you lost count midway? And in Brazil, people wear white for good luck and jump over 7 waves for their wishes. Now that's a Brazilian thing to do. Despite their quirks, there's one universal theme: starting fresh and having a good time. Unless you're the one cleaning up broken plates in Denmark. Alright, let's go back to the big question. What if New Year's didn't exist? Would our life look any different? Turns out, yes, our lives would look very different. It's not about missing out on New Year parties that people go only for the food. There are much deeper implications that could change our world drastically. Let's start with the obvious. Without New Year's, the whole concept of aging would get a little tricky. Imagine telling someone you're between 18 and 50-year-old. I mean, who's to say how old you are at that point? Without the annual reset, we would all just be living in a timeless void. The only real marker of aging is when your back starts to make suspicious noises when you stand up after sitting for too long. Let's talk about the economy. Post-holiday sales like New Year's blowouts bring in billions of dollars. Fun fact, January sales alone account for about 5% of annual retail revenue in the US. Without that, stores would be scrambling for another gimmick like the Riz clearance sale. Yeah, that doesn't quite have the same ring to it. Many industries align their fiscal years and performance reviews with the calendar year. Without New Year's, budgets and tax filings would be absolute chaos, making it harder for major companies to stay organized and coordinated. Imagine your boss telling you to prepare a financial statement by the spring equinox. Apart from the economy, not having a New Year has a much deeper implication from the psychological perspective. New Year's provides a powerful psychological reset for many people. Research from the University of Scranton shows that 45% of people make resolutions, even if only 8% actually stick to them. While these resolutions aren't always successful, the act of setting them can be motivational. Without New Year's, people might lack the collective reason to reflect and reset, leaving them more likely to stay in old habits. You would be stuck with the same I'll start tomorrow mindset, except tomorrow never comes, just like your gym membership's free trial. New Year's often serves as a mental break during winter's dreariest months. It's a bright spot in the calendar that many look forward to. Without it, winter might feel longer and more monotonous, especially in colder climates. For students, the New Year serves as a psychological halfway point in the academic year. When they return from winter break, students feel more refreshed and ready to tackle the next term. By refreshed, this probably means grinding 18 hours on Fortnite per day. But hey, without this marker, the school year could feel much longer, potentially affecting motivation and overall performance. And of course, you have the festive aspect. New Year's is one of the few holidays celebrated globally. It's a rare moment of unity where people gather from their busy lives to spend time with their loved ones and count down together. Without it, there would be few shared moments of joy. There would be no smash plates in Denmark and no Brazilians in white jumping over waves. Now that's a boring world. So, what have we learned? New Year's isn't just about countdowns and fireworks. It's about fresh starts, shared memories, and collective sense of hope. Without it, life might feel a little off. Sure, skipping New Year resolution sounds tempting, but we'd miss the collective moments of optimism that keeps us going, even if it only lasts until February. At the end of every year, we all get burnt out from crazy things that may have happened in the past 365 days. With that being said, it sure does feel nice to end the crazy year in a festive spirit. So next time you're counting down to midnight, remember, you're not just welcoming a new year. You're part of a tradition that's connected humans for thousands of years. And hey, if you don't think it's that deep, it's definitely a great excuse to randomly eat 12 grapes or throw plates at your friends' doorsteps. Just be sure to double check if you got the right address, or else things might get ugly. Happy New Year, and may your 2025 be filled with joy, laughter, and much more success than last year. If you learned something new today, hit the like button and consider subscribing to learn more about our amazing world. Let us know in the comments what your number one New Year resolution is.